everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's sparkly green smoky eye, we're going to go ahead and prep the skin using this Herbivore Rose Hibiscus spray. It's made with coconut water, so it's really hydrating for dehydrated skin. And now I'm going to prep my eyelids using MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot and a synthetic buffer brush. This one is from Zodiac. And then I'm going to set the soft ochre with a bone colored eyeshadow from my Viseart palette using a really large fluffy shader brush. And now dipping into my Melt Dark Matter stack, I'm going to use the color Blur. And I'm just going to go ahead and put this into my crease using my MAC 224 brush. And you really won't see much here. It's just going to help the colors transition nicely. And now dipping back into the Melt Dark Matter stack, I'm going to use the color Unseen with the same 224 brush from MAC. And I'm going to go ahead and buff that into my crease as well. We're slowly building up that crease color with slightly darker brown shades each time that we go in. I think I have like 3 transition shades for this look, but it's just going to help with the overall smokiness of the eye. And then we're just going to go ahead and build that color right into the crease over top of that color Blur. And now going in with my third transition color, I'm going to use the color Swiss Chocolate from MAC Cosmetics and the same 224 brush. And we're going to go ahead and buff that into the crease, but we're going to keep it slightly a little bit lower, and we're going to concentrate that on the outer V area. This is a little bit darker than the last color that we put down. As I told you before, we're building up the smokiness of the eyes, so I'm going to go in with a little bit darker shades each time. And then we're going to make sure we buff that into the crease and blend it nicely. Now going into the new Estee Edit Gritty and Glow palette. It's a 2-part palette. One is a face palette, the other is an eyeshadow palette. I'm going to take the color Wavy from the eyeshadow palette. It's a nice metallic-y green shade. And I'm going to pack that onto my eyelid using a small shader brush. You can use any shader brush that you have. I just like the small ones because I feel like I have more control over it. Now with my MAC 221 brush, I'm going to take the dark brown shadow in the Viseart palette, and I'm going to buff out the edges of that wavy green shadow that we placed. And then we're going to go ahead and start blending that towards the other transition colors. And then you want to take your 224 brush or your blending brush and make sure everything's nice and blended. And then during the blending process, I did lose some of the intensity of the wavy color on the lid, so I'm just going to pack a little bit more on the lid just so that we can have it nice and intense. And now taking my NYX Jumbo eyeshadow pencil in the color Milk, I'm going to place this on my brow bone, and this will just act as a base for the brow bone color that we're going to put down. I just want the brow bone to just pop just a little bit more since we do have a dark smoky eye. And this also just makes the look just a little bit more cleaner. And then we're just going to repeat the same step on the other eyebrow. Next, I'm taking the white eyeshadow in the Viseart palette. This is just a matte eyeshadow. I'm just going to place that right over top of the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk. And then going back into the color Blur, I'm just going to go ahead and buff anything out that I see that's a little harsh and make sure everything's nice and smooth. Now going into my Urban Decay Liquid Moondust shadow in the color Zodiac. This is a really pretty sparkly green color. It's a really dark green color, so this is perfect for this look. I'm going to place that just on the center of my eyelid, and then I'm going to buff it out with my finger and blend everything out. And this is just going to add some really, really nice green sparkle to the lid. And now for a little bit of eyeliner, I'm going to take my Loreal Infallible Gel Liner. You know this is my favorite, and my Zodiac Wing Liner brush. And I'm just going to line my upper lash line. And I'm just going to prepare my lashes, or my upper lash line for lashes. The lash band is a little bit thick on the lashes that I'm using, so I'm going to just line it just a little bit so that you don't see the lash band. For lashes, I'm going to be applying the Lilly lashes in the style Vienna, which is a nice fluffy lash. And I'm going to apply that off camera. And now moving on to the face. I'm going to be applying the Urban Decay All Nighter Foundation in the color 7.0 and 6.0. I'm in between shades right now, so mixing those two together gives me the perfect shade. And also it does oxidize a little bit, so 7.0 oxidizes too dark and then 6.0 doesn't oxidize enough, so that's why I mixed the two colors together. And this is a really nice full coverage foundation, so it's going to cover everything up and it's going to last a long time. And it's also waterproof. And I'm just going to buff that into the skin using a damp glamour sponge, or a beauty blender if you have one, you can use that too. Any sponge that you prefer, actually. And then now for concealer, I'm going to be using my MAC Prolongwear concealer in NW30. And I'm just going to be applying that on the areas where I want to highlight and also under my eyes. So under my eyes, down the bridge of my nose, forehead, and a little bit on the chin and the cupid's bow. And the brush that I'm using for my concealer is actually from a Sonia Kashuk set that I got a long time ago at Target. I just really like the shape of this brush. You can find a concealer brush for this, but I just like this one. This is just the one that I prefer. And then I'm going to go ahead and blend out my concealer using a damp glamour sponge, the same sponge that we used for our foundation. And I'm just going to go ahead and buff and blend this out. And what's good about the MAC Prolongwear foundation is that as you buff it out and as you blend it, it does start to set, so it doesn't move and it lasts forever. And then here I just like to flip my glamour sponge around and use like the big side, the same side that we used the foundation with, and just blend everything together. And now taking my Laura Mercier loose translucent powder and a Luxie 522 brush. This is my favorite brush for under the eyes. I'm just going to lightly set the concealer with this, just to make sure that the concealer stays where it's supposed to stay all day long. And now taking my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in the color Radiant Light and the same Luxie brush, we're just going to go ahead and set the rest of the face using this powder. This is just going to give us a nice healthy glow. And then going back to the eyes just for a second, we're going to complete the eye look. And I'm going to use my Viseart palette and I'm going to take the dark brown shade and a smudger brush. And I'm just going to apply this on my lower lash line. And I'm keeping this really tight onto the lower lash line and darkening up that area. And then taking the color Unseen from the Melt Dark Matter stack and a pencil brush, we're going to go ahead and buff out that dark brown that we put down and smoke out that eye. Now going back with my Urban Decay Liquid Moondust eyeshadow in the color Zodiac, I'm going to place this right at the center of my lower lash line. And then I'm going to buff this out just a little bit with my finger. Kind of the same step that we did on the eyelid, but this time we're just going to keep it right at the center. And now with MAC Kohl pencil in the color Feline, this is just a really dark black pencil. I'm going to place that on my lower waterline. And then moving back to the face, we're going to start bronzing. And of course, I'm using my MAC Matte Bronzer and my Real Techniques Duo Fiber Face Brush. I mean, who would I be if I didn't use this right now? I don't know who I would be. But I'm just going to go ahead and start warming up the skin with this color. And then of course, we're going to go in with MAC Give Me Sun after this, just to deepen up that bronze a little bit. And here I don't really apply it like all over like as I did with the matte bronze. I just kind of place it strategically on just the very edges, just to give me just a little bit more dimension around the face. And now taking my Lorac Pro Contour Palette and my angled cheek brush from Zoeva, we're going to go ahead and start contouring out that cheekbone. And we're also going to contour the forehead and along the jawline as well. And then now taking a small angled fluffy brush, we're just going to start contouring out the nose, and then we're going to start where the eyebrow starts, and we're just going to run that down and then buff that color in there. And then I'm going to use my Glamour sponge to pick up any excess powder that we don't need, because you want to make sure that your nose contour looks as natural as possible. And now taking the yellow highlight color in the Lorac contour palette, I'm going to use this to highlight under my eyes, a little bit on my forehead, and just on the highlight zones. And this is just going to brighten up that area just a little bit more so that we look nice and highlighted. And now taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills So Hollywood highlighter. I'm kind of obsessed with this one right now, so I've been using it a lot lately. And I'm taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills A23 brush for this, and I'm just going to put this on the tops of my cheeks, on the tip of my nose, and a little bit on the bridge of my nose. And I'm also putting just a touch on my forehead. I kind of want to look nice and glowy for this look. And then I'm also going to put that on my Cupid's bow. And this is just going to make the lips just look a little bit more poutier. Now moving on to blush, I'm taking my Too Faced Love Flush Blush Palette, and I'm using the color I Will Always Love You. It's one of my favorite blushes to use. It's just a nice peachy color and has a little bit of sheen to it, so it gives you a little bit of a glow. And I'm using my MAC 116 brush for this step. And then I realized that I did not put any mascara on my lower lashes. So I'm just going to take my L'Oreal Voluminous mascara, and I'm just going to apply some mascara on my lower lashes. And now moving on to the lips finally. We are taking the Huda Beauty Lip Contour Lip Pencil in the color Trendsetter, and I love this color. I'm obsessed with it. I want to wear it every single day. I'm going to line my lips with this color, and I'm also going to fill it in just a little bit, and this is just going to act as a base for the liquid lipstick that we're going to apply next. And this is just a really nice creamy lip pencil. I really like the texture of this pencil. And now I'm going to use my little mini Huda Beauty Matte Liquid Lipstick in the color Bombshell. This one is a little mini size because I actually got it in a set. I love this color so much. It's so pretty. I literally want to wear this one every day too. This one and the lip pencil, perfection. And then the last and final step to this look is we are going to bathe our face in MAC's Fix Plus Spray. This will just settle all the powders on our face and make it look nice and natural again. Natural, quote. And then the look is complete. I really do hope that you guys enjoyed this look. Please let me know what you guys want to see in the comments down below. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And then also follow me on all my social media outlets. I will leave the links down below. And I will see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.